Hey everyone, talking about when to let a fragrance go. And this could apply to a lot of things for that matter. It can be really hard to let go of a possession, whether it's nostalgic or more material, monetary, like whatever the reason is. But these are a couple reasons specific to fragrance bottles. So if you're kind of not sure, like, do I really want to keep this like anymore? Here's a couple guidelines that for me kind of go in towards deciding that. One, something about your taste change and you no longer enjoy the smell. So sadly, that could happen for a couple of reasons. I mean, especially if someone's had COVID and their taste changed and the way their sense of smell never quite came back the same. But even things like, for me, this Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Love is Love Pour Homme was full bottle worthy for me. And I loved it. It just smells kind of like citrus vanilla ice cream. Kind of cheap smelling, but one of the few designers that I really, really love. But after I tried Secretion Magnifique by Etat Libre d'Orange, that gave me such a scent aversion to certain types of musk that this has in it. And now when I smell this, I just get a flashback of that type of musk that I hate. Like I can kind of still like it, but it's just, but I keep feeling like, no, but I loved it for so long. But it's also like, okay, just face reality. If you don't love it anymore and your taste changed, maybe the fragrance reformulated, whatever, like something like that, and the one you own now just doesn't smell that good to you, don't feel bad about getting rid of it. Two, you're still fine with the smell, but it just no longer sparks joy, so to speak. And that's kind of, I do feel that that book by Marie Kondo actually is a really good strategy for deciding what to keep or get rid of. And the point about that is like, say that something you're like, okay, like, yeah, I don't hate it, so I guess I should keep it. But you also have other fragrances that just make you so much like, oh yeah, like you feel confident wearing them, you love the smell. By all means, if you want to have a really big collection where anything goes, of course, keep anything you want. But if you're like me and you really want to feel like really, you love every one of your fragrances that you have, if something just doesn't give you that same passion anymore, nothing wrong with selling it. Three, you wear it so rarely that you really don't need more than a decant. And I'll mention a couple reasons when it does make sense to keep it when you're on the fence about something, and there's one that kind of counters this. But say that you have my bottle that I'm using for all the examples here just because it was relevant to a bottle, and you wear it only for like very, very special occasions or only in really specific weather that doesn't happen very often, or just for whatever reason, like you don't wear it that often, you could sell the bottle, but first decant a bit for yourself, or just buy it from a decant site. But yeah, you can look up how to decant fragrances, or I'll link in the description my favorite site for buying fragrance decants, and just keep a sample of it so that way you can still have it, you can still wear it, but it's not taking up space. You get some money in your pocket. It goes to someone who's actually going to use it. So this last section is on the other hand when I think it does make sense to keep it when you're kind of on the fence. One, you don't wear it anymore, but you still love the smell and you really want to be able to smell it whenever you want. So some people might think like, well, I really shouldn't keep it, like I don't wear it anymore. But I have plenty of fragrances that I never wear. Some that I've never once worn that I specifically own just because I love the smell so much. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can smell it like this. You can smell it by spraying it on a test strip. You don't have to wear something to just like have a pure enjoyment for the smell. And there's nothing wrong with keeping something when you actually love to still be able to smell it. And two, you really, really love having the bottle in your collection. I mean, that might be considered a dumb reason to some, and I'm not the type of person who just wants to have a big collection. I only want ones that I really love. But at the same time, a lot of mine I really could have just have a decant of because I don't wear them often, but I really like having the collection and knowing that the bottle is, seeing it there, just knowing it, and I love that fragrance so much that even if I'm really not going to wear it that often, I still like having the bottle of it in my collection. So yeah, I'm curious what anybody else's criteria was. Like, have you had ones that you loved for a long time, then you kind of finally got rid of? Because I had developed that musk aversion well over a year ago, and I have really struggled to get rid of this because I just keep thinking about how much I used to love it. So let this motivate me, hopefully, to finally get that out.